Hello everyone. Myself Dr. Shubh Arora, Assistant Professor from Department of Commerce, GIMS, Greater Noida. I once again welcome you all back to the lecture series of the subject Advertising and Brand Management. Currently, we are on the third unit of this subject, and today is the fourth lecture for it. The topics which we are going to discuss today are the brand identity and the brand identity perspectives. So first, let's start with what do we mean by brand identity. See, when we talk about brand identity, it totally says that building or creating or establishing a relationship between the brand and its customers, right? And how this relationship can be created between brand and customers? By creating some kind of value proposition. This value proposition can involve some emotional, functional, or self expressive benefits for the customers, right? So it is basically a set of brand associations that the brand strategize to aspire to create or maintain with its customers, right? So these associations are very important, right? Because with these associations it helps to the customers to know that where does the brand stands and what does it actually promises to its customers, and does it actually delivers through its products and services what it is promising to its customers, right? So brand identity should contain some kind of core identity, right? So this represents the timeless essence of a brand, right? So here the core identity is since timeless, so the brand position or the communication strategies might change from time to time. So when we talk about the this brand identity or building a connection through some core relations between the customer and the brand, for example, if I say Lux, so Lux says beauty bar for young women, right? So here the connection is that whenever a person who is going to buy Lux will definitely come in its mind that it is a beauty bar for young women. When we talk about buying a soap or a shampoo for kids, so when we hear the name Johnson and Johnson, so automatically there is a trust and quality for the baby products sold by the brand called as Johnson and Johnson. When we talk about Dettol or Savlon, immediately it comes to our mind there's a connection that it is the best antiseptic for the protection of your body. It will be best suited for you and your family, right? So this is how brand identity can be created. So it is brand identity is totally different from brand image, right? Here the brand identity corresponds to the intent behind the branding, the way a company tries to choose its name, tries to design its logo, uses different colors, shapes and other visual elements in its products, and tries to promote crafts, the language, and it uses in its different ads, and the way it trains its employees to interact with the customers, right? So all this is done with the main objective of cultivating a certain image in the minds of the consumers. Then what do we mean by brand equity? When we talk about brand equity, it is a marketing term that helps a brand. Now, when we talk about what is a brand equity, it is a marketing term that describes a brand value, right? So it is determined by the perception of the consumers and the various experiences of the consumers with that particular brand. If a consumer is thinking high about a brand, that means the word of mouth or the brand equity is high, is positive in the market. Whereas if the consumer experience is not good or negative and the consumer is disappointed, then definitely that means that the brand equity is negative of that particular brand in the market. Now let's talk about the different components of brand equity. When we talk about the different components of brand equity, the first is brand awareness. Now, what does this brand awareness says? It is a very first step, in fact, in building the brand, right? So, in brand building process, it is a very first step, because until unless the customers are aware about your brand, are aware about the brand name by which you are selling the products or services in the market, the customer is not going to purchase. The customer will not get to know what you are selling, what are your quality, on what quality lines you do business, what is your market share, what are the goals and objectives, what is the vision, right? So all this is very important, and for all this, the very step required is to make the customers aware about the brand, right? And once the brand awareness is done, then it will help automatically the marketers to increase the brand visibility among the target audience, and that is the customers, through different ad campaigns. Second, we say brand association. See, this brand association is something or some process which is done to relate or build a connection with the customers, right? So this can be done by increasing the interaction with the customers or building some good associations with your customers. A good strong brand association is very important. Why? Because once you have connected yourself and built a strong association with your customer, definitely that good association with your customer, or that good connect with your customer, is going to give you repetitive sales. Repetitive sales is going to give you good profit. It will help you in enhancing, for penetrating in the market, in increasing the goodwill, in increasing the market share of your particular brand. So all this is totally connected. So for this, you need to have a good brand association with the customers. Then next is brand experience. Definitely customers are there in the market and they are going to experience the products of different brands. Once they are going to coming to you to visit you, to have an experience of your brand, definitely they will try to find out a experience, so that they come to you again, they visit you again as a customer. If their experience is good, they are happy, they feel contented, they are satisfied, they are going to visit you, they are going to give you repetitive sales. On the other hand, they are not happy, not satisfied, their motivation level will be totally down, they will not spread good word of mouth of your brand. So brand experience again is a very important element, component of brand equity. For example, if you are visiting McDonald's or say Pizza Hut, right? So how do you feel sitting there? How do you feel the entire environment existing there? How do you feel the staff is behaving with you? How do you feel, what do you think the quality of product, the quality of food they are serving you? What are the after sales services? Are they greeting you? What are their prices? So all these combine together and form a customer's experience with your particular brand. Then we talk about perceived quality. When we talk about perceived quality, it is fulfilling the promise which you have made as a brand to the customers. When you are promising something, the customer in their mind get a perception, okay, this brand does business on these goals or objectives, these are the lines, this brand is going to give me this, I'm going to pay this and I'm going to get this. So a perception is already been created in the mind of the customer, right? And if you don't ultimately deliver what you have promised, then that perception is going to totally get hampered or destroyed, right? So quality perception impacts the pricing decision of a company. If a company produces quality products, it can avail the luxury of premium pricing. If you are actually delivering what you are promising, you are not at all compromising with the quality part in the products which you are manufacturing and selling, definitely you can charge a higher price, a premium price, and the customer will be happy to give you that premium price, right? Then comes the brand loyalty. It is the preference of a brand by the customer over a similar products in the market. If there are lot of similar products sold by different brands, and if a customer is coming to take the product of your brand, that means the customer is loyal to you. You have won the customer, and this will result in repetitive sales. And it is the best way of through this can be done through spread of word of mouth. If a company has higher brand loyalty, it will reduce the market cost for that company, right? And the company can also introduce new products by targeting the same customer base. Then we talk about brand preference. This is another important component of brand equity and can charge additionally for the same product. This requires organizations to assure that customers have good experiences and associations and connections with their brand. So these were some of the components. Let me give you again a brief overview that what are the different components of brand equity. The components are brand image, brand identity, brand awareness, customer perceptions, that is perceived quality, then brand loyalty and brand associations. Again, here I have mentioned the components of brand equity, and along with each component I have added the main features of that component. Like if we talk about brand loyalty, it includes reduced market. If the brand loyalty is good of your brand, customers are loyal, then it will result for the marketer in reduced marketing costs, trade leveraging. It will help you to attract new customers, and it will give you time to respond to the competitive threats. Then on the other hand, when we talk about brand awareness, it helps you to anchor to which other associations can be attached. Then familiarity linking will be increased. Then you will get as a brand signals of substance or commitment, and your brand will be considered by the customers in the market, since your brand, the customers are aware about your brand in the market. Then when we talk about perceived quality, it says that customers, if you actually deliver that quality product to the customers which you have promised, then definitely the customers will have a solid reason to buy the products of your particular brand. Then your brand will be easily differentiated in the market in comparison to other competitors. Then the customer will also be able to will be happy enough to give you a premium price, to pay you premium price for the higher quality of goods which you are going to deliver to the customer. Then channel members' interest will also be increased and enhanced, right? Then when we talk about brand associations, it will help the process or retrieve information. Then again, you can differentiate your brand from others. You will give a good reason, good solid strong reason to the customers to buy your product, since you have created good connections and associations with your customers and you are delivering up to the mark what you have promised. Then it will also create positive attitude and good feelings among the customers when they'll talk about your brand, right? And when we talk about other proprietary assets, competitive advantage will definitely the one thing which your brand is going to gain, right? Okay, then after these components, we'll see that the brand loyalty, brand awareness are going to give you result as a marketer, that they are going to provide value to the customers by enhancing customers' interpretation, processing of information, then satisfaction, confidence in the purchase decision will be there when customer is going to purchase a product, right? And when we talk about brand associations and other proprietary assets, this will provide value to firms by enhancing brand loyalty, prices or images, then brand extensions, trade leverages, competitive advantages, efficiency and effectiveness of marketing programs. So this is how components of brand equity are important. So in today's class, we have discussed about the different components of brand equity. We have discussed them in detail one by one, and we have also discussed about, let me give you an overview, quick overview of today's class. We have also discussed about brand equity, right? Then brand identity. Then what are the various perspectives of brand identity? We have defined brand equity concept. Then we have discussed the various components of brand equity one by one, that is brand awareness, brand association, brand experience, perceived quality, brand loyalty, brand preference. This in the image form I have tried to show my students what are the main components of brand equity, and through this the different components I have tried to add the characteristic feature of each brand component, right? So we are done with today's class, and we'll be discussing the next topics of this unit in our following lecture. Till then, thank you and take care.